Hey guys, Andrew from Model here and welcome back for another RC update. Pretty exciting week this week. We've just had a brand new container arrive full of stock, and in that is all the new 2019 Spec Arrma cars. So we're going to go through a few of these models today, highlight the differences and the improvements, and also the features that have remained the same, because these cars are super durable, ideal for bashing, crazy high speed, so there's obviously some great traits that are well respected and known in the industry. I'm going to highlight some improvements they've made to these great cars. Firstly, we'll cover the radio system. So it has moved to a Spectrum-based radio system using the STX2 controller. It's a fantastic option. The STX2 controller has some great features on it. One, which I think is probably the most important, is the throttle limiting switch. So you can actually go from 50 to 75 and then to 100% throttle travel. So if you are having someone who's maybe starting out in RC, you want to start with, say, the 4S setup in this so it's not so crazy fast. You can also move them back to 50% throttle limit. So makes the car nice and easy to drive, and then obviously you can flick the switch and move into higher power setups, and then obviously move to 6S when you feel comfortable. So there's a huge range of scope for this car. Like I've just touched on, it is a 6S capable car. With a 6S setup, you're looking at about 112 kilometers an hour out of the box. So it's an incredibly quick car, and this would be ideal for not only bashing off-road, but also speedrun stuff. The Talion's sort of the car that you need. If you're going to use a 6S setup, we do have the Prime RC 3-cell lipos. So you buy two of these. They're on sale at the moment, so you can get two batteries for 150 bucks. So there's a bit to be saved there with every Arrma car purchase. So if you jump on the website, order up an Arrma 6S car, two of those 3S batteries will give you the top end performance, and you can get it at 150 bucks. Some other changes are under the lid. So let's take the body shell off, show you kind of what's changed under there. Now that we have the body shell off, can kind of go through some of the updates and upgrades to the 2019 spec version. Probably the most obvious is the tower-to-tower chassis brace. So not only do we have the normal conventional chassis braces from the gearbox down to the chassis plate, but we also have the tower-to-tower brace running from the front and rear shock tower. This gives you a lot more protection for chassis flex, so front end impacts, instead of the car flexing, possibly damaging and bending drive shafts, chassis plates. It keeps the car nice and rigid and generally protects all of the equipment in the center of the car. One of the other nice upgrades for the 2019 spec is the sliding motor mount. So these two screws here, you simply remove those and you can actually slide the mount out from the side. This is a lot easier than the previous versions, which had the screws in from the front, which meant you had to get an L wrench, which didn't really work that well, or you had to remove the center dip. So this is much easier for maintenance and removing electronics, and a really, really nice upgrade for the 2019 version car. Still the same steering servo, 15 kilo metal gears, does a great job of keeping the car pointed in the right direction. And then one of the last upgrades is the IC5 connector from Spectrum. Now this conveniently works perfectly with our Prime lipos, so plug straight in, no need to cut and solder any plugs, so really good option there. Pair them with the Prime 3S to give you a 6S setup. Obviously you're going to use both plugs. If you are using just a 4S, it does come with this jumper cable pre-made, so you can use one 4S or you can take that out and use two 3S packs. The Kraton has received a host of updates for the 2019 version. Now we've just received this in both color options, the blue and the red. Really limited numbers on these, so they've been super popular, so get in while we have them available. As you can probably see from the outside, there's been updates to the wing, rims and tyres, as well as the body shell, so much more aggressive looking car. Looks really, really nice. And then underneath the shell, they've made some more updates. These are more for durability and maintenance, so again, the tower-to-tower brace, just like the other 2019 cars, stops any front-on impact causing bending of the chassis and damage to the internal components. IC5 connectors, which are compatible with EC5 plugs, so the same plugs we have on the Prime lipos, they plug straight into there, no soldering needed. We have the sliding motor mount, which we've sort of covered in detail already, but easy to get the motor in and out for maintenance, changing pinions, stuff like that. And then the Spectrum radio system as well. So using the STX2 transmitter, we have the ability to limit the throttle back, so people that were maybe starting out or beginners can lower that throttle speed down. Overall performance is going to be a bit lower. For those of you with experience, turn it up to full performance. This car is going to hit just shy of 100 kilometers an hour, so about 96, 97k an hour on the 6-cell setup. You can run it on 4-cell as well, so if you wanted a little bit less performance, obviously on 4-cell, but you do have the option for both power setups. But 6S is where you're going to get your crazy top speeds. And this car is, I guess, you would be looking at it, it's similar to the Talion in a Truggy style configuration. The Talion though is a little bit lower ground clearance, probably more of a speed truck. The Kraton sits a little bit higher, a little bit more aggressive, slightly bigger tyres. So it is kind of designed for more for bashing. So if you want to do BMX tracks, skate parks, ripping around a park, this would be the ideal car, kind of eat up anything you can throw at it. And it's really the perfect bash car. Both the Outcast and Notorious have received updates for the 2019 versions. Now, both of these cars are essentially identical. The main difference is the body styling. So the Outcast, a little bit more modern and aggressive. The Notorious, a little bit rounder. It's more of an old school style, hot rod style shell. And then a big difference is the way the shells are painted. So the Notorious has a conventional polycarbonate shell painted from the inside, glossy finish. And if you scratch it, you're just scratching up the outside plastic. The paint's actually inside. With the Notorious, it's got this real steel effect that Arrma have done. So they've painted the outside of the shell. It comes in blue or black. So this one's obviously blue. It's like a matte finish. And then they've painted the inside silver. So if you do crash, it scratches the paint and you get this silver coming in from the bottom. So it kind of looks like you've scratched real bodywork on a car. So really cool effect and a cool a bit of a different thing that Arrma have done with one of their cars. So depending on the body styling is which one you go with, but essentially aside from that, the cars are identical and have both received identical upgrades. So both cars can run on 4-cell or 6-cell. Again, the Prime lipos are a fantastic option to power these cars. Two of them will give you 6S. And now the car has pretty good top speed, but really it's made for performing stunts. So things like back flips, front flips, huge jumps, massive air. This is where this car's at home. Some of the upgrades that it's received a tower-to-tower brace. So front to rear, really helps with any impact crashes, stopping the chassis bending. It's also received, just like the other cars, sliding motor mount, easy for maintenance, Spectrum radio system, and it's received the IC5 connectors. So again, plug straight into the Prime lipos. But really, if you're looking for a car that can go to a skate park, a BMX track, take huge air, back flips, front flips, the Outcast is the way to go. It has a wheelie bar in the back and it does use it frequently. So the car has a heap of torque, heap of horsepower, and is ideal for doing the absolute craziest stunts you can think of with these cars. Just received more stock of the Super Rock Ray. Now this is a fantastic truck, and as you can see, it's a huge car. So it's a 1/6 scale, massive car, runs on 6-cell or 8-cell. Obviously 8-cell is when you're going to get your maximum performance, but for the 6-cell setup works really well as well. If you're going to run 6-cell, I recommend adding 2 of the Prime 3-cell lipos, and then for 8-cell you can use 2 of the 4-cell lipos. So really affordable way to get your batteries. They do run EC5 connectors, which is exactly what the car uses. So again, plug and play, no need to cut and solder. You will also need to add a charger. So a nice LiPo charger, maybe single or dual port, depending on how many sets of batteries you have. But aside from that, the car's complete. So as you can see, there's a lot of scale detail in this car. The closer you get to it and the more time you spend sort of admiring it, you appreciate all the scale detail that Losi have put in. This is the Raceline wheels version. There's also a Baja Designs livery scheme as well. And it's a really fantastic car, even down to things like a functional spare tyre. I mean, this is a real tyre that you can put on the car, so a great option. And currently this is actually on sale. So we have a funds out promotion which is being run on select products. This covers cars, helicopters, radios, even boats. So a little bit of everything from our product range, and it's 15% off through to September 2nd. So this car does come under that promotion, so you get to save 15% on these. We've just obviously had a shipment arrive in both livery versions, so really popular car and a great time to save some money on this. Now, thanks for joining us again this week, guys. We've covered a bunch of products, some brand new Arrma arrivals, as well as this beautiful Losi Rock Ray. Now, this isn't everything that we've received in, and it's certainly not everything that's covered in this funds out promotion. So if you'd like a bit more information, head on over to the website. We'll link all the products in the description below, and you can jump on the website also and check out the funds out promotion. So we have a listing of all the products that are covered, some great savings, like I said, 15% off, and some awesome items to pick up. Until next week, see you next time.